recording. I'll start recording for the sake of those who wants to repeat that, and I'll start sharing my screen, and I will share desktop. So something I want to, my desktop is sharing now. I'll put it down. Well, we are back into the Bible Hub, but before Bible Hub, I want to show you something else I prepared for you. We'll make it bigger, screen bigger, and there's a piece of grammatical diagramming you don't know yet. You didn't do exegesis to the end yet, but what I want to show you is something you probably never saw before and never will be seeing before, but it's something that as the preachers and as the theologians you have to know about, and that helps you to understand the text as the readers, as the readers and the hearers of the first year century would hear it. We are visuals. We need to see things. You know, we keep our cell phone in our hands in order to watch. But the first year century hearers, when the word is read in a church, they would basically, from hearing, they would see things as you would see it now on a screen. So they are not visuals, they're hearers. And for us to hear to see, or for us, in order to hear what they heard, we have to see it. Do you understand me? Okay, now let's see what they heard. When the Gospel of John, the scroll is open, they would hear things that repeat each other and actually lined up very well with each other.
Sorry, ma'am.
Yes?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes?
Adrian is requesting that you let him in the class. He's trying to enter.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I try to get us in. Let us okay, where I do let him in. Oh guys, I'm just trying to find a way how to get him back again. 1 second, I'm running for the technical help. Okay, I'm back with you. Just gonna get the Jason in.
You want to do?
I want to let my student in.
You want to let your student in?
Yeah.
Go to participants.
Okay. Okay.
Say admit.
Okay, thank you. Now we're all together now.
Okay.
Thank you, Adrian, giving us helping hand. Now let me do the right things here. And welcome, Ronnie, and welcome back, Adrian. We are in John 1, verse 1, and we're trying to see what the hearers of the gospel would hear in the first century. In order us to hear that, we need to see it. Why? Because we live in another era, we live in visual time, and we live in another language time as well. So I made this diagramming in order you will be able, so you can see the verbs all in line here of this 5 verses. Then you see the subjects all in line, and you have the objects as well, and indirect objects, indirect. And I put subject, you can see here subject, it's not logos, and I put subject logos. That's all diagramming that helps you to visualize the text in order to work with the text. The text can talk to you, not because you think what you think about the text, but what text is telling you to say. Okay, We start reading from the left to the right as this arrow shows, and we start reading, it's all the same text, it's just diagrammed. So we start reading from the left to the right, and we follow the line from there to there, and we don't skip the lines. Enarhe, ein, or logos. I used different color markers so you will be able to recognize the words again. Kai, and then we follow here hologos. The third line, ein, pros, ton, seon. Are you with me? Okay, follow kai, theos. Next one, ein, hologos. That's how we follow. We come to the second verse, hutos. And the next line, ein, enarhe, pros, ton, seon. So why I didn't put ein this place? Because we need to follow the lines. We can't go back. We can only go forward, and always from the left to the right. So the meaning of this diagramming. So you can put the predicates, verb, object in the right order. So you will then make easier connection. So next verse. So we done the second verse. The third one's panta diau tu. Egeneto, panta everything or everyone. So it refers to everything what you see around, like all encompassed in one. Panta, everything, everyone. Dia, and with apostrophe here, because alpha is missing, but it's just because of two words are combined together. Dia, through or by means, everything, everyone, through or by means, au to, him. We talk again about logos theos, who is theos. Everything through him, egeneto, being created or being made, but more about or being born, but through him being born. Egeneto and ein, the word to be and the word to become, has a connotation here as ein, to be, means existence. Egeneto means a creative power, somebody creates or give birth, or to become. Where ein refers to God, logos, who is in existence was always. Egeneto talks about creation, that he did create and he did bring it into the life. So that's why I put verb predicate separately. You see the line. That's what God's logos, creative power, or God's logos, creative power made. So we're reading through him, everything was created or came into being or was born through him. We talk ginomai about alive things and non-alive. So everything, non-alive and alive, came to being through him. Kai horis, without, autu, without him, logos and theos. Without him, egeneto ude, nothing, ude, not even. We translated not even. Created, came into being, hon, hen, ho. Not hen, it means one, not a single one, or not single one person, not single one thing. So hen, referring to panta, everything. So out of that panta, or everything. You know the English word pantheon. So pantheon comes from panta, everything. Pantheon, and the pantheon, all gods. We're talking about Greek gods as pantheon of gods. So pantheon, all gods, all Greek gods together lined up. That's what we're talking about, pantheon. That's how the English word came into the life. So Panta, everything, everyone, whatever was around, was created, came into being, was made by him, through him, and nothing was made, was created, came into being, even one thing. And Ho means these ones who came into being. Yeah, who came in. This is the one. So now, we are in verse 4, because it's very strange division they put in after in 4th century. So I would put division into the verse probably here, but that's how they decided. In and auto, in him, means God and Logos, in him, Zoe. Do you remember what means Zoe? I mentioned for you before. And zoology, or what else? Zoo, zoology, and some other English words came from the word zoe. Yeah, it's life, 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 life. Zoology, it's a science about life. Zoo, it's all alive beings, all alive animals. So in him means Logos and God. In him, Zoe, aim. And again, you see the aim refers to the same as we used Logos and life. He is the life, he is the Logos, he is Theos. And this life, Zoe, is the same as Logos was. And I already told you that verb to be here used the same as Hebrew word I am who I am, and you by now probably know it. So referring to non-timing existence in past, in present, in the future. So it's very hard to put it in the Greek terms, because in Hebrew you can use that. In Greek, there's no ways you can place Greek verb in particular tense. You have to actually encompass all the tenses. That's why John in the Revelation says who was, who is, and who is coming, trying to translate Hebrew word who is. So when we talk about Logos, who was, he's trying to translate that there's no beginning for him. And that life, who is Logos, there's no beginning for that life. He ever been alive. He always been alive. So reading further, Kai had Zoe and life, ein to phos ton anthropon, and life was to phos. You will translate for me. You know that word. Phos, phosphorus, or phos. We have some other words in English as well. Phos. Yeah, phos means light. Life was light. Logos, who is life, ever existing life, ever giving life. He is the same, the light, ever existing life, light, ever living light. Ton anthropon, for the people of human beings. So anthropon means the human beings in general, all together. So, and you can see everything lined up. Who is Logos and who is God? He is life, light, he is life. Reading the first verse, next one, follow the lines. Kai, from left to right, tophos, and the light, and te skotia. In skotia means darkness, in darkness, phane. Phane means to shine or to send bright light. Or what else? What synonym can be used to shine or to illuminate. Illuminate, shine, send bright light. The light in the darkness shines. Let's put the word shines. Or light illuminates the darkness, that we're not translating in, would be not very correct. And Heskotia and the darkness are to him. Him means light, life, logos, theos, and Skotia, the darkness, ou katelaben. And katelaben is a very interesting word. And later on, I will show you, when we come to verbs and verbs terms, how beautifully verb terms are playing here. You will not be able to understand, they comprehend the tenses yet, but there's an amazing play of tenses here, which shows ein as ever existing, ever continuing verb, phane, ever continuing word, agenoto, which came into past from the certain point, which came into being. So it did have beginning. And katelaben, it means in the past, certain point in the past where Skatia, the darkness, tried to katelaben out to him life, light. He's trying to overcome it. So I'm taking you now to Hub, Bible Hub, and we're coming to the verse 5, Katelaben, something I want to show you. Okay, not here. Okay, not there. Okay, Katelaben. Think. So the word Katelaben, let's do the word studies. Katelaben means to overcome, means to attain, caught, found, lay hold, lay, overtake, size. And there's another meaning of understanding or comprehending, which not used by John at all. John is not using it. He using Katelaben as by means sizing or rather taking hold or lay by force down. So let's look at this verse 3 in John 8. When they caught a woman in adultery, they caught her and by force, and they used the intention was to murder her. So that's how John using the word Katelaben. And John as well. Okay, there's a caught in adultery, and there's another verse with the word Katelaben, verse 35, chapter 12. Darkness overtake. Yeah, the same. You see, might overtake. So in this case, Katalambana means by force, by violence, with a sense of sizing it or killing it, to putting it down. Never we can use in this particular sense. There's as a translations, some translation give you to understand. Darkness never seeks to understand the light. Was never been. So because if we understand someone, we actually accept someone. So darkness never do that. Never we can use that as a part, and John is not using this in particular connotation. So in Jens, it means to catch it with a force. Okay. Now as the last word, and we closing up at the moment because we're going to be cut off. Let's do a few words of prayer for those who will leave. For those who wants to carry on, I'm welcome and I'm here still. Lord Jesus, we want to thank you for the time that you open for us your word, and we want to ask you that you would help us to think about it and hide it in our hearts. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, guys. Now, those who wants to reboot and restart, you're welcome. I will be carrying on a few more minutes till 11. So we completed it. I just don't want you to be cut off without words. So you can place your questions about the structure. I will give you that in a file later on. And when we do rereading in John, you will most probably hear the see the text in this way. Okay, so because that helps you to understand text better and see that better. So everything what about our hair, I put here, darkness here. This needs to be few, changes to be done. But at the moment, that's how it works better for us. So we can see the logos and light and everything in one line. Any questions about it? We'll be cut off in 8 minutes. Any questions about these 5 verses? No, you're very quiet. Okay, so maybe else what I need to show you when you do diagramming. Yes, Adrian?
Sorry, man. No, it's Bongani. There is a question. My question is, yeah, I was struggling with arhe since in English it means beginning and it also means king. Now I know that in this context it obviously means beginning, and I heard you say that in Greek it doesn't show that. It's not like in Hebrew where it shows the indefinite beginning. But now here, how do we tell which beginning is it in Greek? Because like we cannot tell, like, is it the beginning of the universe?
I understand you, Bongani. I'll try to answer you. Arhe means as well, it's very difficult to put, you know, not a single language will give you exact meaning of language, let's say your mother tongue of certain word, you know, and there's no absolute translation ever. Arhe also means origin, so maybe it will help you to give some extra thought. Origin, there's no no timing for that. From origin, let's say, from ever, you know, and we can't grasp wherever. For our human minds, there's not something, you know, put a dot where it started. So let's say origin, from everlasting.
Origin.
Okay.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Great. Any other questions? Okay, great. So with the word kateleben, who didn't overcome, didn't size, we can say was a referring here, and because it's Eris time, which means a certain point in time. And he already in 5th verse, John referring to Calvary. So that was a certain appointed time in the past when the word, the life, the God has to be sized down by Scotia. Okay, so that about the Kateleben, and we read further. Any other questions? Okay, so let's I will close this down. Let's go to sorry, this is Zoom meeting. Strong Greek. Yeah, so you can read this up. And it seems like we're gonna go. Okay, so then comes Witness of John. And I didn't do further diagramming for you, but this you can see agenote again. So the same word that came into the being. Anthropos means human being. So human being never existed ever, but he came into the being, into the life by means of force and logos. And there's another use of the word agenoto, So came into the life, anthropos, apestalmenos, sent by paratheo, from God. And again, theo, God, will be under the line with logos and God as well. Onoma autu, his name. Onoma means name. Autu Ioannis. Autos elten, he came. Elten, he came. Eis martyria, as a witness. Hina martyreise, in order to. Peri to photos, in order to witness about the light. So he is created by God, by Logos, and he came in order to testify or to witness about the light, that Logos who created him. Hina, that Pontus, that everything, everyone, that what he created. Pisteusin, might believe, dia autu, through him. So he is the one who is witnessing about the one who created him and set him up to witness about him. I think I will stop here. So let's do more questions. Let's do more questions about what we read. I'm sure you have something to in your mind to talk about. Please.
Can I say something about? I was looking at how to recognize that a word is actually a feminine one or a masculine or a neuter.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Again, for that question, look here. You see what I'm marking? He, zoe. You see that
Yeah.
article? And article he is always feminine. If you he in neuter,
Yeah.
and in nominative, it is feminine. To,
Mm-hmm.
to is neuter. And ho will be masculine. So we have three type of articles: he, feminine; to, neuter; and he is masculine. And this is for the nominative or subjective case. They will change if they are in objective case, in accusative and other ones. But in nominative and in a vocabulary, okay? In a vocabulary form, if you open vocabulary, in a vocabulary they will have the form he, zoe, to, teos. And how do you know that's the neuter? You just look at the article. Sometimes in the text, as you see here, there's sometimes no article in front of theos, as we discussed it before.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or here, let's say zoe doesn't have an article. It's a certain is a reason for that. He dropping the article with the reason.
Yeah.
How do we know that that is still feminine? Gender doesn't change. If it's feminine, it will always stay feminine. It doesn't jump into from one gender to another one. So it's just born with the gender. So it doesn't do the gender change. Okay. So how do we know what gender if there's no article? Then the second point to check the ending. So if the ending is he, it will be feminine. If the ending is something sigma or else, it will be
Okay.
neuter. And another ending. So ending will be your clue if there's no article. Okay. So that will be the clue for recognizing the noun genders. Any other questions? I hope, Adrian, you got some light on that.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? We're just gonna be cut off very soon, but maybe we can catch the last
Yes,
question.
please.